Alright you guys, I'm back. I'm making my final video with my Jaguar 2014 Jaguar XF. This is a 2-liter turbo. I'm making my final video because I'm getting ready to sell it. But I want to go over something that I did miss. I had ended up taking it to a repair shop. They caught it. It was something very simple and would have cost me a lot less headache. And hopefully this helps you out. Now, all right, I'm gonna pop the hood real quick. I'm gonna show you the final thing. When I was having the problems with this car, with the battery not charging, cooling system functioning was off, and I mean, it should have been kind of like an elementary, thought about it all. And me, I just, the one thing that I did slip, and I just want to go over it because the repair shop turned me on to it. It ended up costing me about I ended up spending about $3,000 to get this all, get everything back up tip top, but it would have been so much cheaper. Okay, when what was happening was, before, I thought the alternator was bad, so I, playing around with the alternator. I bought a computer, of course, checking everything, so that's in my other videos. And the one thing I did not even touch because wasn't familiar with the design of it, because I'm used to the old school stuff. So the one thing that I had a problem with, basically the car was not charged, the battery wasn't charging, cooling system was kind of off, like it wasn't, getting enough cooling, or the temperature was out of whack, and even the power steering wasn't working well, and like it was, the car wouldn't turn as well, and that would just indicate, that, which I should have just really thought about it, was that the serpentine belt is obviously not turning everything the way it should be. And what would be the main pulley? The crank pulley. On the crank pulley is what they call a harmony balancer. It's basically a 3-part design pulley. The inside is metal that bolts to the crank, and then the outside, where the belt rides on, that's metal. But in between there's a rubber, kind of like a rubber insert in there, that when that thing gets worn out, it may start slipping. If it really gets worn out bad, it'll start slipping on there, and it won't turn the serpentine belt fast enough to make everything work right. So I wasn't getting any good cooling from the AC system. Alternator kept saying, it wasn't charging. I thought it was electronic. That's why I ended up taking the shop, because I thought it was something electronics, like the battery monitoring system was way off. But really, it was all that. This part right here costs about, get a better picture of it. That part right there costs about $250. You get it from Jag, it's like $350, $425, something like that. And you can just do that yourself. But if you start having those kind of problems all at once, and you'll know, because if you'll get a battery not charging, and then your power steering, we won't be able to turn the steering wheel as well because it's skipping around. It's all because this thing wore out, and I had no idea. So I just wanted to put out this last video on it, so to kind of help people figure out what's going on with these cars. And that's on pretty much any new car nowadays that has those, if it has those harmony balancers on them. I'm used to the old school Chevys and Mopars that have just direct bolt pulley on there straight to the crank, and there's no way, no slipping, no metal in there, and that's supposed to be designed to reduce like noise or something, like an engine, to make it run quieter. Just some nonsense to find a way to something that's going to break, that's easy for their technicians to fix, but have you in the shop, spending money. That's how I look at it. So, I just want to let you know about that. One last thing, and like I said, other than that, car runs like a dream right now, but it's going to have to be somebody else's dream, because, after going through all the stuff I've been through with the car, I still love it. It's a beautiful car, but it's just not, simple enough and reliable enough for me. It's too much in play at one time, and unless you got plenty of money to spend, this is definitely not the car to be playing around with, especially if you get one used. And I bought it used, so and this was supposed to be the make or break if I decide to get a new one. And like I said, when I got it, it was still under CPO warranty. So, and the first thing that happened to it, the turbo went out, and they replaced that, gave me a brand new Jag to drive around. I mean, a brand new Range Rover to drive around. They do that to try to get you to buy the next line of product there. But they let me drive it around about 2 weeks, put a new turbo in it. Car ran like a dream. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Then, like I said, one thing after the next started happening, and it was all because of that harmony balancer was wearing out. slowly wearing out till it got to the point where it wasn't doing anything. And like I said, now I got that fix on it, I mean, it's running perfect. And yeah, so this should be my sign off video for the Jag. And I got a couple of people to come and looking at it, so I should have it sold. But at least, you know, everything is, you know, up to speed. Like I said, I replaced the entire cooling system, I replaced the entire AC system, and now, you know, the turbo is brand new, and, you know, freshly changed oil, and everything else has been changed all through the car. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So this car is pretty much like a brand new car now. So with that, you know, until my next video on some other type of car that I got. I mean, I went out and bought a new Malibu, and I still got my 300 back there. So, you know, they're brand new, so I ain't really got to work on any of those. So hopefully. All right, so that's pretty much it. And to my next video, y'all know me.